Does OpenClaw deserve the hate that it is receiving? I have my grievances. In fact, there are few things that OpenClaw can improve. But does it deserve the AI slop allegations? I don't think so. So recently, OpenClaw released a mobile app for seamless integration with their existing offerings, and the internet had a field day. I tried the app and it has its problems, not denying that. For starters, the QR code based setup didn't work. Then I tried pairing with the one time code approach, that didn't work either. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely not impressive. And if you have followed the project for some time now, you know this is what to be expected. The frequent UI changes with the already frequent releases per week makes it difficult for one to adjust. One week the settings are on the top, other week the settings have moved to the left. So this has been the norm, this has been the case with almost all open source projects. This is not an exception with any project that is in the early stage of development. And if you think about it, this project is not even a year old, but the pace at which the industry is moving forward, we tend to forget that things take time to settle. Other problems that I faced was with my token consumption. So even though the the platform on its own is promising, but you have to be wise to know which things are repetitive, which can be set up as a workflow, and which one can be a one time help with OpenClaw. Because the token consumption burns through my monthly quota, in fact, the weekly quota, and I'm not really willing for that. So I found ways around it, not complaining and not taking anything away from OpenClaw, because OpenClaw on its own has a lot to offer, and it has time and again proven why it just blew up the moment it launched. Yes, the app has problems. The problem is a design problem. The app can be designed in a much better way, and also I feel whatever I could see, the interface can be improved for a better user experience. And as I said, there is a long way until we reach a stable product, and we will have these kind of not so great releases in between. But if I have to choose between OpenClaw and the competitors, I would still go with OpenClaw, because maybe it's just the bias that I have towards this product, but I just like the way it helps me set things up. I personally use it for installing some Git repositories that I want to try out on my machine, and it does it like a piece of cake. And because I also do not trust OpenClaw, I don't run it in my primary machine. I have set it up on a dedicated Ubuntu box, and it does the job. And like most of you who have played with OpenClaw, Discord is my preferred way of interacting with the setup. And I look forward to this mobile app because that would make things even more easy. And I'm sure as time progresses or in a couple of months, we'll have a stable version. And I also hope that OpenClaw team takes all the inputs regarding the UI into consideration, comes up with a better UI as well as UX, and I hope we have a better product soon. Now, coming to the issue that I have a problem with, this mobile app release, which I feel is a step forward, even though it's not stable yet. And I have a problem with calling this AI slop. We, the people of the internet, need to understand what is AI slop. AI slop is something which is strictly low quality content or product or any media that you consume, which you feel like you have already seen this or heard about this somewhere. So, secondary derivatives of some original ideas or just some random text shared by people who have no idea what they're talking about. We also need to understand and respect the builder spirit. Because if you think about it, the project in itself is driven by AI. Peter just found this gap and decided to take up this challenge. Maybe because he had the resources and also the bandwidth to take this on. But I or we all should respect the spirit, not just with him, but with any person who is using AI to build something. And this project is the proof or is the torch bearer of how AI can be used or should be used. And labeling something as a slop not only demeans the product but also the people behind it. And I also hope that OpenClaw team takes all the inputs regarding the UI into consideration, comes up with a better UI as well as UX, and I hope we have a better product soon. But again, let's not call this and things like these AI slop. Let's not rush into name calling and just labeling things which we really don't know. And we should start respecting the builder spirit and the problem solving mentality, because that is the right use case for AI. That is all I had to say, and I'll see you in the next video.